Hi, everybody. This is Natasha. I am one of the homestays. I live with my partner Emily and our son Taariq, who's now 2.5. And he was so looking forward to having people around because we so loved having the last two people that were here for the homestay. So I know he's disappointed. I'm a lecturer at the University of Cape Town. I teach in sociology. And currently, we're doing a lot of work to push back against what online work learning is modeled to be in this moment of crisis, because it excludes, uh, in reality, probably over 60% of our students, because they don't have access to the internet or to um, data or to hardware like laptops, or even if they do, their home space is not conducive to what they're calling online learning. So that's what I'm working on at the moment, albeit remotely, to try and push back against this. But I also teach around social grants, and I'm interested in South African state social assistance to the poor. My partner Emily works for SWET, which is Sex Workers Education and Advocacy Task Force. This lockdown has hit sex workers particularly hard, so Emily's been really intensely working to make sure that at least sex workers have some sort of um, support during this period. As you know, sex work is not yet it remains criminalized. So none of the resources that the government has put in place to help workers, including the the unemployment insurance fund, applies to sex workers during this period. But of course, because the army has been deployed into the cities, and the police are on the streets all the time, so it does mean that those parts of of law enforcement that normally um, enact the criminalization of sex workers are out and about um, in much more active a way than they've ever been. So they're facing violence and the loss of their income. Um, so that's what Emily's been doing in lockdown, and we've been doing this with the toddlers, so it's been extremely difficult. But we're learning a lot of new craft projects, and we're trying to also not carry on with life as usual during the enormity of this crisis. Um, we hope that um, we will be able to host people sooner than later. I'm sending through a photo of our area from our little roof deck. Um, the mountain seems entirely unfazed. It remains as beautiful, but the streets are quiet. We live in an area called Woodstock. It's an extremely polarized neighborhood, as is South Africa as a whole and Cape Town City as a whole. Um, we live opposite a small convenience store, which you'll see in the photo, and we live down the road from a site that's been earmarked for social housing, but social housing hasn't been constructed for more than 5 years. Um, and we can hear the call to prayer from our house every day, 5 times a day, so that remains, which is a nice grounding. Um, and I don't know what else there is to add. Yeah, I hope you're able to learn a lot, even remotely.